Episode 169 of New Meta Podcast. We're back. Anime is out for a second season. Sets are here. Collecters Cahce. Much to talk about. Marco and Adam join me as always. Marco, Taco, welcome to the pod. How are you doing this week?
Thank you, sir. Getting the name correct. Ever since the rebrand of 2021.
Yeah, no more Taco Bell. Now it's just Marco Taco all the way.
I'll soon be getting Taco Tan in flavour. That's my Steam profile picture, is repping a 2,000 population town in Japan, if anyone's interested.
Interested. I was about to ask you like what that was from, because it looks like a hatchery.
It's a onion. They specialise in onion. They have like an onion market attraction that's renowned amongst probably like 100 people.
If anyone's ever been to Taco Town, Japan, just let yourself be known in the Discord.
Please let yourself be known. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah. Adam, come dine with me. Welcome to the pod. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Nice.
Last two games were rough, but I'm not going to let it bring me down. Not going to break my stride. Smile.
You're not gonna burden the listeners with your stories of the last two games, at least until we get to talking about games.
Right.
Yeah, me and Adam have just got off the back off a tasty loss, which is pretty nice. Although Adam had just had a 50+ minute loss before that, so it's hopefully not too much of a dark pod. We don't need. This isn't an angry pod, a dark pod. Hopefully.
Well, we've not done an angry pod in ages.
Yeah, we just need EG to get to another major final, and then we can have an angry pod or something like that. Or maybe new patch next week when, all the heroes we hate are buffed. You can just do angry patch review.
I don't think it could be an angry patch review. Just because there'll be a patch. It doesn't matter how bad and like how unbalanced it is. It's just, it'd be new, and that's all that matters.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Not angry pod. I think the only thing that could cause an angry pod is a new hero release that's like an anime squirrel that's really cute, like Hoodwink on steroids, and it says carry, but it's actually support.
Yeah.
Then you might get an angry pod from Marco at least. Yeah,
true.
I'll finish the name shout outs. I'm the Magic T. There you go. My name's based off no town with real population. It's just based off, I don't know, being magical. Just magic.
What? The Terran race.
Well, yeah, but that's the second
Magical
half.
Terran.
You've got. I was Magic before I was Terran, and then I played Terran. I was the Magic Terran, and then that became the Magic T.
Yeah, Stan has been described as magical by many in life. Friends.
Yeah. Games, anime. I feel like we should maybe start with the anime because that's the biggest news in Dota this week. Me and Marco yet to dive in. I must say I was really, really annoyed, and this is very niche, but I was really hoping that they were going to have like Chinese audio or something, because I'm in the midst of a very futile effort to learn Chinese, and it's very, very difficult to find. TV basically is a very good way to learn, to like try and immerse in some content in a language, and Chinese TV is like absolutely terrible. It's just so bad. All of the shows I've tried are just so boring. It's not like Squid Game or cool Korean cinema. It's like everything.
Or Japanese TV where it's crazy game show stuff all over the screen, yelling.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tageshi's Castle style. Yeah. It's none of that. It's just everything's like a feel-good rom-com like drama that's just like feels like it's made for someone that's 13 years old, and I just can't deal with it. Or it's a really weird historical drama that I also don't like very much. And by the way, if there's any people that either have learnt Chinese or are Chinese speakers, or people that are like, what are you talking about? I agree. I also don't know what I'm talking about. I've only seen or tried so many TV shows, but so far I'm very disappointed. Anyway, that was a very long-winded, boring way to say they don't have Chinese audio, but they do have French and Arabic and Filipino and Portuguese for some reason, but there you are.
Do they even have Netflix in China?
No, they don't.
Right. So is that... I guess, that doesn't preclude you from having Chinese subtitles for people that aren't in China.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I guess, dub. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's not really surprising, given that they're not in China.
Even if it was, I don't think it'd be shown in China. I guess, it's not sterilized in terms of, how they sterilize DotA.
Yeah,
it's too
true.
brutal. Too much blood.
Too much blood, yeah. It is actually quite gory, isn't it? I'd forgotten that in the first series.
Yeah. It's kind of gore. It's gorier than I guess you would expect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, Adam, what's the sort of spoiler-free or mild spoiler? I mean, I guess you can traverse the spoiler terrain as you wish.
Spoiler-free. I sat down last night to watch a couple episodes, and I just ended up watching all of them.
Nice.
There's 8 of them. I think that might be one of the problems with it, is that it was short.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 25-minute episodes that I can just binge them in with like less than 4 hours. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it, but I don't really go into things trying to pick them apart. I just kind of like enjoy, the pretty pictures and stuff, and I don't try and find plot holes or that type of stuff. But then reading like the response on the Dota subreddit, I do agree with maybe a little bit of their criticism, not to the extent that they have. I think it was kind of fast paced. And I think that aligns with what the creator was saying in the AMA, that Netflix wanted them to do 22 or 25-minute episodes, so they had to cut a lot of stuff, and maybe like 2 episodes worth, I think I remember reading. And I think I would have liked it. Like, I really enjoyed it, but I think it would have been even better if it had like 10 episodes, or maybe they were longer episodes, because the pacing was kind of fast. Kind of had to jump around. It's kind of not as like egregious as the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones, where they were just, we gotta go fast, gotta fit all this in. But it was pretty fast. The dialogue could be kind of wonky, but I think that's kind of charming. I thought the animation was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I can really get into much more without spoiling things. It is really cool to see heroes cast their spells and have it be animated.
Yeah.
Like that, if like you point out things, you're like, oh, sick, that's this, or that's that. And I really like how, even if, not every hero's in the game, or in the show, obviously, but there are little nods to characters, like characters that are of the same race as heroes. Like you might see like Gondar the bounty hunter. Like there might be a character that kind of looks like that, or like a Tide Hunter looking at character, or like a lot of characters that are from the same race as Axe, or
like E.T.'s walking around. I remember that in the first series.
Or like Ursa type of a character, and you're like, oh, it's not that's not Ursa, but it's cool that it's represented in the show. Yeah, and I think in terms of relating it to actual Dota, I'm much more sold after the second season on the idea of Kaden being a hero.
Oh, yes.
They like fleshed out we just had more animation to go off of, right? So it's like, oh yeah, there's definitely some spells here, like that he's doing. It's like, okay, I see how this character could exist in the game. Having mentioned that dynamic, friend of the pod, not too happy about the idea of another humanoid and another human character and another anime character. But I think Kaden's pretty cool. And then there's another hero that I don't want to... They're not in the first season, or there's another character that wasn't the first season that I think would make a really sick hero. That I describe to Stan as things they do in the show, like really translates well to an orb modifier on a Q. So it's just like, give me another hero that I can toggle on a Q type of thing. Like that's probably as far as I will go with that one. I think most people that would see the show would know who I'm talking about. But I think it was pretty enjoyable, albeit short. That's how I kind of wrap it up.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember the first season being quite fast-paced as well, so it makes sense if they had to cut down on material.
Yeah.
Have you seen any clips from it, Marco, or anything?
I saw the trailers. So it only came out yesterday, right? Or
2 days ago?
2 days ago, yeah. So I just want people to not hold us over the fire for not watching it, because it has only been a couple of days.
Yeah, most people won't have watched all of it, probably.
Yeah, but so I saw the trailers. I remember seeing Lena with the Dragon Slave. That looked very cool. Last season I was really keen for Kaden to become a hero. It sounds great that you're suggesting that could be the case. I don't think there's been that many humanoids. I think with him, I'd just hope he doesn't get imported as a Leaguey Marcy model, which it is an immense model, but to that point about they're not very Dota 2. They're kind of like a League of Legends model, but high definition.
Well, she's much more... She's just kind of wearing like normal clothes, kind of. You know what I mean? Like he's in badass armor and stuff. I feel like it could translate pretty well.
I'd worry that he wasn't a hard pos one for the reasons we've said before, that he comes in and has got super flashy spells that make him a mid or 4. But anyway, it's positive signs.
Yeah, he's sweet because, just the backstory of all of his powerful stuff comes from slaying dragons, So he kind of like takes the power of, the spoils of war or whatever. So he can go a lot of different directions.
I felt like, so I've got limited knowledge, but from watching the trailers, it looked like more characters were involved, whereas last season I feel like it was very much just watching the trio merry along, whereas in the trailers I feel like there were more characters. I guess we had the Invoker a bit last season, but again, that felt like he just tagged on in the story.
Yeah, there's definitely, I guess you would maybe like at least an A side and a B story. There's probably like a C story too. There's definitely, it jumps around. I think that might be why it could have done with a little bit more time, was that you kind of had to jump from storyline to storyline.
There was sort of 2, maybe 3 storylines in the first one, wasn't there? There was the storyline of what's happening to DK, like what's this weird demon thing and can he control it or will it destroy him? There's also the storyline of the big battle between Luna trying to take over the world. And then there's also this Invoker timeline with the god and how they're in love or
and
whatever.
Then Terrorblade in the background.
Oh yeah, and then Terrorblade also flying around, yeah. I forgot TB was in it. I completely forgot that TB was there.
Yeah.
On the Kaden subject, before we move on from that, it's interesting you say he gets his powers from slaying dragons, because in terms of new hero ideas, maybe you guys are going to correct me and I've just forgotten one, but I don't think in Dota there is a hero really that scales massively off getting kills in the short term. So, for example, there's a League hero whose name I can't remember, but there's a League hero that if you kill someone, you for a short amount of time, like 5-10 seconds, you become like Superman, and then if you kill someone else during that time, you become like Superman for longer. So basically, you're incredibly snowbally in the short term, and maybe this would break Dota to have it in the game.
Yeah, that sounds.
Well, so we have
snowball. You got a trophy aura. That's one.
Yeah, Bloodseeker, and then Legion Commander, like scaling.
Yeah,
Legion
so they
scales,
they have a thing like Legion dual damage, Slark, perma agility, like from kills, long term, flesh eat, silencer stuff. But other than maybe like Necro getting a crap ton of heal when he kills someone, or
Bloodseeker being fast when someone's low, but not necessarily when they. It persists a little bit after they die, and then I guess Axe chops someone, and it gives
maybe the chop, the chop. But all of those are quite. I think it'd be interesting to have something that was stronger than that, but it would may well be hard to balance, because you'd have a hero that would probably have to be pretty
he's
weak.
more like
And then
he's more like armor is kind of like built out of scales from previous kills, or like the sword is imbued with power from a drag. You know, it's like I don't know. That'd be kind of cool if.
God, it'd be triggering if you got permanent HP or permanent effective HP from every kill. I guess that's kind of
just depending on what hero type you killed or what hero you killed had a different effect. That'd be so sick.
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
have to learn like 120 combinations for just one hero.
But I think that kind of concept of getting kills and becoming way stronger from a kill is quite interesting from a viewer perspective. As well, because you get crazy like turnaround snowball moments where against the odds you get a kill and then you're twice as strong so you can get the next kill, and then you're twice as strong and you get the next kill, and then your buffs wear off or whatever. Anyway, so that's a Kaden theory, but we'll get to the anime. We'll probably have like anime revisited maybe when we've all seen it.
So what I'd like them to do, and it's probably wishful thinking, but whenever this patch comes out, so in my optimist mind is they're holding off the patch because they want to give people a couple weeks to watch the show. And then once the show's been out a couple weeks, they release the patch and it's got a new hero from the show in it.
Cool.
That's what I would do if I was Valve, but I don't know. Do you think a new hero would come with the patch?
We waited a while.
It's been long enough,
as well,
right?
though.
True.
It definitely could be. I'd see no reason why.
Okay, well maybe.
It couldn't be.
Do you think a new hero not related to the show would be like just a hero in general would be launched with the patch?
I think it's more likely they go with the show for the next hero. I think they'll go. I don't think it's unreasonable in this timeline that they release a hero with the patch and it's Kaden, or it's from the show, another hero that I don't know.
Marcy was only 28th of October, and then before that it was April Dawnbreaker, so Marcy has really not been that long ago.
Yeah,
6 months. So, and we're only at like 3 months.
Okay, that's probably not happening then.
I don't know. They could do it. I mean, nothing's stopping them from doing it. It's like nowhere does it say you have to have 6 months in between releases.
Yeah, sometimes they do two at once.
Yeah, they could just say, here's 2 heroes from the show. You know?
Also, I think Marcy will probably be added to Captain's Mode in the big patch. I think it'd be surprising if Marcy stayed out of Captain's Mode, so we get to see Marcy in Pro Scene, which is kind of cool.
The last thing I'd say is I only played a couple games since watching the show, but I've been pleasantly surprised that there have been no spoilers in Steam names.
Wow.
Nice.
We'll wait until everyone's seen it. Like you're super early. Give it a few days, maybe there'll be some pictures and some names flying around.
Yeah, I guess I am kind of early, but like there's some like epic spoilers, you know what I mean, that you could just
Right.
I mean, I get worried about it just with any movie I want to see. People
to be
do
fair,
that type of stuff all the time.
Yeah, you're probably not that early though. I bet a lot of people have watched it actually. Come to think of it, you go on Reddit and there are threads about the anime with a ton of upvotes.
There's already like those spoiler thread without context type of a deal, where it's like not actually screen grabs from the show. They're just like memes that you would only get, I guess, if you've seen it.
Let's talk about these sets then, and then we'll do games after the sets, and we can just sort of talk about heroes a little bit with the games, the actual topics that we have. So there was a big patch, but not a balanced patch, a Collecters Cahce patch. And
it's a lot of polygons.
Yeah. We wouldn't usually, harp so much about sets, but I feel like the Collectors Cahce each year is really, really cool. And we didn't talk about the voting for the Collectors Cahce that was happening the last few weeks. We just glided past that. So I think it's fair to talk about this Collectors Cahce. Likely Collectors Cahce 1, right? I feel like they always do 2 these days. Plenty of sets going on. Marco, you said you were happy to talk about sets, having reviewed these Collecters Cahces. What's your impression of these hats?
I reviewed it and I thought, blimey, these are quality. I know someone in the Discord said, oh, they're a bit OTT, and granted, some sets get a bit crazy these days, but I don't feel like any of these are obnoxiously OTT. I do think they're kind of creatively at the boundary in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few gripes, but on the whole, I'm super impressed. I can't remember a Collectors Cahce being really good, but this, I'm genuinely, I was looking through them, and like you say about the polygons, some of them have got amazing detail, and the CK one in particular for detail, with the flaming eyes with flames coming out of them, and the detail on the skull and nose.
Yin Yang shield, pretty sick.
What is this? Yeah, I didn't notice that. Unbelievable quality. So yeah, very impressed.
Do you want to... Adam's had some personal experience with this CK set.
Oh?
Yeah, I bought the 15 and I opened it up.
No, you got CK?
Yeah, on roll number 5.
Whoa.
So it was like a 1 in 276. It was like pretty lucky.
That's big.
Yeah, so we played it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks very cool. It's very distinctive. Like, if you compare that set to the regular CK, it's obviously like totally
also
different.
Pretty funny because I was laning against the Jakiro Ogre set, which is the other rare. I bought all those. I was wanting the Jakiro Ogre, and then it's like, okay, I guess I'll take this really super sick CK set instead.
I've just loaded in with CK, and it does feel like I'm playing a different game. I wouldn't confidently point at that and go, that's CK, without the icon next to the HP bar. It reminds me of a character from Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
It does feel like a different hero, like a different game, doesn't it? If CK committed a crime and then changed costume into this set, and then you got him in like a lineup, you'd be, I don't know.
Is it Kotl, and like it's the staff's now a kind of spear, or so I guess in game it's a little bit mentally different, but very cool. So okay, have they gone too far?
Just on the subject of just to jump in on these two, I mean, I guess the PA is the ultra rare. Yeah. Interesting. It looks kind of nuts. Like, obviously it's ultra rare, it's going to be insane. It's kind of ridiculously insane set, but it's really interesting to me that Valve put the ogre at rare from a marketing economics perspective, because by far the biggest hype for any set in the Collectors Cahce was this Jakiro. Was this ogre Jakiro. And that's the set that everyone wants. And so it's interesting that they put that at rare for sales, because I feel like if they put it at ultra rare, people aren't going to bother buying them. But if you put it at rare, then loads of people will buy 15, 20 treasures because they think, and they do have a pretty good chance of opening. It's pretty okay.
Like the last two, like roll 14 and 15 are basically like 1 in 5 and 1 in 4.5.
And you're getting
add those two plus the other 13. Like it's pretty okay odds of getting it. It's bird necro level of funny, I think. Maybe not, maybe a little underneath, but it's pretty humorous looking set.
Yeah, bird necro. Yeah, that was another Collectors Cahce as well. They're always pretty good. But yeah, interesting of Valve, like the choice of what to put rare, ultra rare is interesting.
Well, I also think they did that with CK, because you put the other coolest one at very rare, not at ultra. Because I think the CK is, by all accounts, like a better, more unique set than the PA.
The PA is nuts as well, but yeah, I
just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know how much you're going to see the PA set. Like, probably not very much.
You're just going to see it in pro games, like, I think.
Yeah. It looks like Mars.
Yeah, it looks like Mars, that shield. And then... So I was just in the demo. Yeah, so the shield's kind of cool in that she hits with the shield like a blade, okay? interesting. Am I into the meta of a sharp shield is your right-click item? Seems a bit weird from a fantasy point of view. Okay, but then the spear...
Is the spear what she's throwing with the Q?
I tried to look, and it looks like she's still throwing a dagger. I mean, it's a stifling dagger. She doesn't go out her back to throw the spear, so I'm like, this spear just looks like pure aesthetic. And that's upsetting, because why has PA got a spear on her back? So that's a bit weird. And then the helmet, it's a bit Legion Commander-esque, but with evil eyes. So, if anything, I feel like the golden armor's the coolest bit. Mm-hmm. And then the weapons are actually less cool.
But people will say, my glance value. You can't change the color scheme of a hero.
So what, you glance and you don't recognize her?
Well, I don't know. She's supposed to be green or bluish. I don't know. Like she's got the greenish, bluish glow.
Grey.
Talking about glance value, did you ever play Dota 1 PA?
No.
Neither of you played it.
No, I've never played
Dota 1.
She
blurred permanently or something.
So each level of blur increased the effect. By level 4 blur, PA is literally a circular shadow on the floor to everyone or to the enemy. So if you're playing against PA, you're literally just looking at a circle shadow to identify PA. So talk about glance value.
Yeah,
or lack thereof.
Yeah,
we don't want to hear it from the listeners.
It is a bit like Legion's daughter, like a small model size.
Yeah.
It's like Legion and Mars had a baby.
Yeah.
And it's like adolescent still.
I think people would rather play with Arcana outside the rarity factor.
So I don't know.
Model.
You could probably mix and match, and it probably would still look okay. But I know that the Ogre one, the Jakiro head part, is also the Arcana slot, so you can't have both. Which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I always get confused what our stuff are Arcanas and where it slots and things like this. Like with the PA one that you got me, is that just a weapon, or I feel like that's a full... I don't know.
I think it's like the shoulder.
Is it just a shoulder? Because if you could, I would take a few of these golden armor bits and combine it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
the leaner Arcana is just headpiece.
Yeah,
which is kind of obvious. But yeah.
But if you want to talk about glance value, that chin set, what in the world? He's purple and gold on a crocodile, and he's a mummy.
Yeah, it's amazing, yeah. What is going on? And there's weights at either side. What is going on?
You can get away with a lot with Chin because nobody plays him. It's like, hey, he can ride on a rat or a gorilla or this crocodile.
Oh my god,
he just looks like Oracle on a crocodile, and it's okay.
Why if you go to the AA set, is it acceptable that you've just made a gigantic book in front of him?
Yeah.
That increases the radius of his model like 3-fold, I swear, because now he's got a gigantic book in front of him. So bizarre.
Surely he can't collide with people because he's just got this big book out all of a sudden.
Well, the book's going to glitch through the models of other heroes, probably.
That's guaranteed to happen.
The glance value of this razor looks like Death Prophet to me as well.
Yeah,
with the bottom bit.
I think your bottom bit Death Prophet, weapons Pudge.
Yeah.
He's ready to throw that hook out, and then Terrorblade wings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think very fair. I will just say on the set that I'm tempted to plunge, and I feel like because this is available for a while, 35 days or something. Oh, wait, how long is it available for? I don't know. At a certain point, I'm gonna just want to get this Broodmother set because it's actually terrifying. Like, if you demoed this Brood, it's like so scary.
I think this set on the whole, or this is a pretty solid Collector's Cahce. There's some really good sets, and this Brood is one of them. I lost to the Brood today, and I just love it. I love everything about it. It's just straight up a Black Widow.
It's so creepy. The big bulge on the back is when you play in game and you demo, the bulge on the back is like the creepiest thing
ever. I've just demoed this. I wouldn't want to play Brood because that is so creepy. Oh my god.
So it might have been before Stan's time, but
wait, just before you say it, are you in demo, Marco? With
I've just left. I couldn't stay.
Okay, so if you go into demo with Brood, this is like Fear Factor. Is if you you level it up to max, you get some spiders, like get a load of spiders, and like get them all to like fly around with some spiders on webs, and then go off webs so the spiders like spread out. That's actually that's the scariest thing you can do with Brood.
Not doing it.
Alright, okay. Any listeners that wanted us like a bit of Fear Factor, get loads of spiders, have them all spawn, where they're all on webs, they can all go into one space. Then leave webs so they all like sprawl out of nowhere, and then suddenly it's like there's a spider infestation like in your room of Black Widows. So, there you go. Beware. Sorry, Adam, I interrupted you.
Yeah, any arachnophobes want to experience this? No, it's just like back in the day, people like arachnophobes really didn't like Brood in the game, didn't like. I guess they get freaked out by it. So pretty sure Cyborg Matt put out a mod that you could modify the game files and it would change Brood's model to something else, so it wasn't as like. It's still like a spider, but I guess it made it like less scary. And now we're at this point in the game where like it's 100 times scarier.
Yeah, it's unplayable if you're an arachnophobe.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't stand spiders, but I love this set. I love it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give a shout out and then a couple shout ins?
Yeah.
So I really like the Alchemist playing off the Alchemist sciencey vibe. And there is a bit of a jetpack element on the back, which, okay, well, I'll just say it's there for like cosmetic flames or something. But that whole, like sciencey, it's like that Spider-Man villain. It reminds me of a bit, the Green Goblin with the little Alchemist man sat on the top, and I think that's pretty cool because Alchemist, given you got those two people, has a lot of potential to it, but often feel like gets overlooked. So
now you can do this with Sniper on your team too. The Spaceman Falcon Sniper.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
What does that mean?
Well, there's a Spaceman Sniper set, and now there's Spaceman.
Oh,
Alchemist.
the one you've got.
Yeah,
the purple one. That's true.
Both of these Keen characters with their Spaceman suits.
That's it. Is Keen the race? The kind of know me dwarvy people. Very cool. Yes. That'll be a cool draft. So that one I like. And then the shout ins, which is opposite of shout out. These hats that Drow and Grimstroke have got, they're just a PL hat. Do you know that kind of Japanese or Asian? I don't want to get the wrong thing. Hat, straw hat, whatever.
I was going to give those were a shout out for me. I love this.
I really like it.
It's cool on PL. That's it. I mean, it's just a complete rip of the one that was on PL.
I think the Drow one is very
really cool. The Grimstroke, not sure about
that's like every Grimstroke set, but I kind of am a sucker for Grimstroke's like model normally. So, but I thought the Drow's like very tasteful. It's not over the top. You compare Chin and Drow sets, and it's like whoa.
Yeah, I think if the Drow lost the hat, I'd be really into it because the outfit is really cool and the bow is really nice. None of this bullshit crossbow. But the hat triggers me a little bit.
No, I like the hat. I think it suits this set really well. It's like the sort of... It all goes well together for almost like some, ancient Far East longbow woman.
Oh yeah, longbow. Yeah, longbows are cool.
With the like clogs or whatever, the wooden shoes.
I like Drow so much more.
Clogs.
Drow as like a longbow bow person than like a crossbow.
Yeah, 100%. The going to the positives, Rubik's pretty sick. With the,
Rubik's is wild. Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe that.
Toy soldier.
I think Dynamic called it Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Pinocchio Rubik.
Yeah, he's like a toy. Oh, I guess it says March the Crackerjack Mage. He's like a toy soldier, I guess would be the...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some sick sets. Hopefully people are familiar.
Yeah,
worth checking them
Dawnbreaker
out.
gets a set as well.
DB
Definitely
set.
some good
First
pieces to
Dawnbreaker
like
set.
mix and match, even if you don't like the set as a whole.
True.
Well, yeah. What do you guys think? Is this the first Dawnbreaker set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it. I think it's a really cool set. I like that weapon, and I like
I think the one
patch
eye
on it,
is a
and it's
little
cool.
weird. It's
I like that.
But-
I just think it's quite cool.
I'm kind of excited to see, I guess, how many different ways they can make really super thick thighs in these sets, because this Dawnbreaker, I guess that's one of her main things, is very muscular legs.
Yeah. With this one's sort of armor almost. It's when it's the normal Dawnbreaker set with like the tight I don't even know what you'd call that. It's sort of like skin tight mechanoid trousers.
It's like a race car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more it looks more defined and sort of more crazy, but with the armor it's sort of a bit more hidden.
I just
Yeah,
realized
the
this
sets as a whole
clockwork
are
is
very
a
cool.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty
Apex automated. He's got a T-Rex helmet.
I feel like that set looks familiar, that T-Rex helmet. Or has it been one of these kind of meme suggestions for ages? Or am I just thinking it looks like, what's that? God, I can't remember. Some old school TV show with kind of dragon-y. Begins with D.
Oh.
Scrubber Dave knows what I'm talking about. I can't remember.
Dinobots?
No, it's not Dino.
Digimon?
Oh, Digimon.
Stan nailed it. I think it's Digimon it gives me vibes of. I don't know if
Really?
that's just completely wrong though.
Digimon monsters.
Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
Man, this Cahce is giving us so much joy.
I think the clockwork I don't like that much because I think there are other sets that are better. Like the one where
there's
it's a
ones that are
brain in a pot. That one's absolutely crazy. And the one where the like underwater scuba diver, I've got that one. I really like that one.
I said Zoids was the show I thought you were talking about, but that might not have been shown in the UK.
It's
Any
possible.
of my Toonami watchers on Cartoon Network as a child, after school cartoons might know Zoids.
Anyway, the only cartoon we need is the Dota anime. Smiley face.
Yeah.
What's been going on in our Dota 2 universes? Adam, I guess I'll let you go first. Cast your mind back to the pain of our last two games, or beyond. For happier times before that. But what's been going on in your Dota
It's been
games?
a good week of Dota. I will say last night I played so I'm grinding the Ags lab, right, just to try and get the courier. I need one more Ags rescued.
Is it random? Which one?
Yeah, I think it's random. So I've just been doing it on the lowest level.
Mm-hmm.
And last night I got a pretty good stack, and we just finished it in 30 minutes, like the whole run. It's like, hey, I could do this all the time if it only took 30 minutes. I didn't die either. That was pretty sick. But yeah, that's because we had a co-op on our team.
And then you didn't get the one you needed, presumably.
No, I didn't get the one I needed, so I just got to keep going, I guess.
Which is the one you need? I suppose maybe you can't see it. 'Cause it's
I
a silhouette.
don't know. It's one of the top ones on the chain. I have all like kind of the funny ones, like the dishwasher one and the naked one and the donkey one. It's just like a standard looking Aghanim.
Mm-hmm.
I played an Offlane Jakiro game that was pretty sick, where I had the most net worth by the end of the game and most damage. You just like kind of melt everything, so it's very fun. And it was like one of these team fights where, so the enemy has an Ursa, so I'm thinking like, I got to do everything I can to control this Ursa. I just got to focus on him and just Ice Path and Yules him and keep the debuffs on him so he's slow. And the fight pops off, and I just lay down this Ags macro pyre in the Dire jungle. We're Dire side.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Ursa pops up and it's like, okay, I gotta control this guy. Not even have my screen on the other 4 heroes. Just like, Yules them, Ice Path them. You know, he pops Satanic, he's trying to hit people, and just kind of doing all that. And all of a sudden, we kill the Ursa, and they're all dead. And I have an ultra kill. It's like, I didn't even focus on the other 4 heroes. Like, what's happening? And then, yeah, it's just pretty funny. Like, you go back and the replay, the Enigma on their team is BKB black holing in my pure damage macro pyre. The Skywrath is like walking back and forth in and out of it, and he's just like losing all of his health because it like lasts for a pretty long time after you walk in and out of it. It's like the easiest ultra kill of my life, and I didn't even like see any of it.
Dude, that macro pyre.
Yeah, you sent me that ad. I'd never seen that before.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah, that macro pyre, dude. Yeah, it was pretty fun one. And then got a win on the Chaos Knight. Got to try out the Chaos Knight set.
Woo!
That was pretty cool. We came back from that one. So listen to this wholesome lineup on the other team, Marco.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it'd be 1 position Venomancer with a 5 Dark Willow. This is a level 30 Grandmaster Dark Willow. And the Veno goes minus. Okay, so then in the off lane, they have an Ogre with the Ogre Jakira set. He also goes a minus. And they have a 4 Bounty Hunter. So they got double minus, basically triple minus because of the Ogre effect. Plus Track Gold, and then mid Tinker. So we got Track Tinker combo.
Mm-hmm.
We've got
Veno.
Veno. We've got multicast ignites and fire blasts. We got Veno slows and Dark Willow things on the ground, and then just a gigaton of gold from Track and Midases to try and fight through. Mm-hmm. And yet, we fought through it. It took 4 BKBs on our team. Now I see that, but it feels good to be the Tinker. Also, it's the least wholesome Tinker build you can do. It's the Shiva Bloodstone BKB Overwhelming Blink Hex build.
Yeah.
You know,
there's no wholesome build.
Yeah, well, this is the least wholesome because you lose a team fight and all of a sudden all 3 lanes are at your tier 3 all of a sudden, and he's got like 900 GPM in the last like 30 seconds, you know? Just because he can like blink all over the place and farm everything.
Mm-hmm. At least you have a Spirit Breaker and a Storm, so I'm not feeling as sympathetic.
We have Spirit Breaker Storm. We had a good lineup for it. We also had Duel, but some of these fights were pretty hilarious. Like, I got on top of him with all of my illusions, and I also have an Abyssal Blade. So it's like between my Chaos Bolt and Abyssal Blade, and having 5 illusions hitting him, he's not taking any damage. No, he just has Defense Matrix plus, just a ton of strength between Overwhelming Blink and the Shiva armor, and then BKB and the Bloodstone heal. And it's like, Chaos Knight kind of just one-shots people, you know? That's kind of his whole gig. And that didn't happen. It's just kind of like, we just whack. And then all of a sudden, he doesn't have Defense Matrix and he dies. But, yeah, that was a very not wholesome game. Mm-hmm. And then I guess the last not wholesome game was this Marcy game. I'm now 11-3 on Marcy. And that was sad because I don't ever want to lose a game on her.
Sad.
That one, we had Stan Tinker, so we deserved to lose, I guess. Because we were not wholesome. We had Spirit Breaker Tinker, so that is not wholesome.
That was a tough game, yeah.
But we got Megas, right? We win the team fight. We push down mid, and we take the last little. We had the melee rack still up for them, so we take that middle,
Their lifesteal buys back, by the way, and dies.
We take both tier 4s. We're hitting I feel like this is a guarantee win. And we got 5-man Storm Ags pulled.
Mm-hmm. Oh. He got an ultra kill in
wiped.
one. He got an ultra kill within duration of. So he got all of us in Electric Vortex. I think 4. I can't remember if it was 4 or 5. Anyway, he got everyone in Electric Vortex.
Yikes.
And killed all of us in the duration of Electric Vortex. So we all got nuked instantly. I don't know if he had Shard, maybe.
Yeah.
But
he had Shard because we were all full health.
Shard, yeah. We got exploded. Holy shit!
It was we had won, like the lifestealer's dead without buyback.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was a lot of gyrocopter magic build stuff landing on us at the same time as all that storm stuff, but that was sad because it was ours to take. You know, it's a classic. If it happened to Marco, that's a 30-minute dissection of the final 15 seconds of the game. You know, we're watching that stuff on quarter speed.
Yeah,
and we're seeing like what was done wrong because there's no. I just felt like, wow, we did it. He had already like done the zip vortex once, and he was in base.
And you let him do it twice.
Well, he was getting mana back in the base, so it was just kind of like hit the building, you know, and then he comes up.
It's tough because he vortexed us like just a second or two after we'd killed Lifestealer. So like Lifestealer dies, and then like a second later we get vortexed ultra kill in like half a second. And oh my word, Storm Spirit Vortex with Ags is actually nuts.
Yeah.
So if you've got the talent, it's a 3-second stun in a radius bigger than RP. So it's bigger than RP, and it lasts for 0.6 seconds less.
So this is what I did not.
It's basically RP.
You got to see the replay because
cooldown. It's nuts.
We were really spread out. Like it was not. This is like some max range on like 3 of the heroes right here is in a triangle. I did not think we played that poorly. You know, it's not like we were really clumped. And I was even trying to move out because I thought it was going to happen. So I could try and glimmer Dynamic, who was the Jug. I don't know, maybe if he gets spin off, and if he said he didn't have it on cooldown, but by the time we're all dead, it's up. But I have to go back and look. I think if he has spin, if the other 4 of us are dead, I don't think it matters. It's not like he could have spun and just hit the building. I don't think he would have been alive, but I don't think it makes a difference.
Yeah. This game was, I'll speak on it as well as part of my games. I'll just do it now. But this game was really tough because I've played 2 games of Tinker, and Tinker's sort of been the flavour of how my game's been, because it feels like every game that I've played this week has either been me trying to play Tinker and not being able to, apart from 2 games, or me playing against Tinker and beating it. So I played, before playing this Tinker with Adam, the last, I think, 6 games I've played unranked trying to play Tinker, and then for 4 games in a row it was banned. Then in the 5th game I get Tinker, and then someone on the enemy team abandons, like, basically a minute in, so there's no game. And then the game after that, Tinker's not banned, and I'm ready to pick it, and they pick it first phase, so I'm against it. So at that point, I was so triggered. I was like, I'm just picking. I literally loaded up DotA buff, went on Tinker, and was like, I'm going to pick the hardest possible Tinker counter according to DotA buff, because I'm like so sick of just, if I can't play Tinker, then no one can. No one's having fun this game, basically. So then it turned out. Oh, well, actually, do you know
the hardest counter to Tinker? Is it Storm?
No, it's not. It's not Storm. Actually. No, they're both up there, but no. I'm not sure you're...
Zeus?
Nope.
So again, the classics are all of those, plus like Spec and Spirit Breaker.
Viper's a bit too immobile.
No, none of
Spec's
you
a great shout as well.
Got there, yeah. Interestingly, I don't think you'll get the top... I think I'd be surprised if you get the top 3, because so far you've named none in the top 8.
What? On DotA buff advantage thing?
Yes. For Tinker.
Husker?
No Husker.
No.
No.
Is
so
one of them Pugner, because I know you play Pugner.
Pugner is number one. Pugner's the
that's what I should have known,
Tinker.
because you said you picked Tinker and you said watch me get Pugnered here. I deserve it. So
Pugner's the hardest counter. I think the third. So I'll just run through the top 5. So 5 is Anti-Mage. 4 is Batrider. Kind of makes sense. And then 3 and 2, very surprising, but Death Prophet at 3. And then Visage at 4. Visage at 2. And then Pugner number 1. But that's not necessarily what you would expect.
No.
But all the heroes you named have advantage against him, but none of them are. Wait, does Spirit Breaker? Can't find Spirit Breaker. No, Spirit Breaker doesn't even have an advantage. Spirit Breaker's minus 0.2%. So
yeah, but I don't agree with that. I think it has like a pub Dota advantage for sure.
Yeah, but I played a Tinker earlier in the week in like a very good Tinker game, and I don't know if it was very good, but won, so that was a lot of fun. Playing against Drow Ranger and Kunkka, Grimstroke, Oracle, Spirit Breaker. And then this Tinker game that I just played with Adam was very tough, because I was against Storm, which is already kind of difficult, but they also had Lifestealer for Lifestealer bombs in Storm. And then on top of that, they had Global Silence, because they had Silencer. So anytime a team fight or anytime anything happened for our team, they would Storm Spirit bomb either me or any hero with Global over the top, and it felt like we had no answer to that. So it was like we were starting every fight down 2 heroes, basically, it felt, because what can you do against Storm Spirit Lifestealer bomb with a silence over the top? Also, because of the way that Tinker works now, he doesn't have travels, so Global Silence cancels your TP as well, because it's a spell. So that's really, really annoying as well, because it means that I'm so delayed arriving to a fight, because I cannot TP until Global Silence is over. So
my Glimmer can only do so much.
Yeah, that was a tough game. Tough game. Could have won though, for sure, like Adam said. And I don't have anything else to report, really. Just a lot of standard-ish games.
You're not going to repent for your OD game? Is that not worth it?
Yeah, I'd repent. I kind of fancy another OD game, which is probably a mistake, but it blows my mind that I've played so many games of OD. It's unbelievable. I've played 234 games of OD. Oh my
you wouldn't
word.
think it, Adam. You wouldn't think it.
I know. You'd think I've never played it before in my life. To be fair, the hero does change quite a lot.
But the thing is, well, I guess, but it's reversed to an easier state of the hero in my eyes, because it's lost a spell and it's back to a passive.
Mm-hmm. That's fair enough. Yeah.
So no excuse.
Yeah,
we forgot to mention, Stan, that within the first 2 minutes of the game, you had already killed the Storm on the other team twice.
Mm-hmm.
You were level 4 and he was level 2. Yeah, that's what made it hurt too.
You solo killed him twice in lane in 2 minutes.
No,
he
the first
died at the rune. I Marcy yeeted him back from the rune at the rune fight, and then
Chaos with laser. That was nice.
Yeah, and then you got him in the lane, and then he DC'd, and we thought he had raged out, and like the game.
Oh wow!
Was ours.
I was like, I'm not getting a Tinker game, because he's gonna rage quit here, because I killed him and then he DC'd.
They didn't pause, and he was gone. Like,
you can't pause.
Well, no, he was dead.
You can pause after
5 minute.
Is it pre-5?
After first blood, you can pause. I'm pretty sure. But he DC'd, and they didn't pause, and then he respawned, and they didn't pause, and you probably had a 2-wave advantage or something. Mm-hmm. You were level 4 and he was level 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, "Watch us lose. This is going to be so sad." And then it happened. I shouldn't have said it.
It's interesting. The Tinker. This has reminded me of a point I wanted to make about Tinker, and I'm not. Obviously not a Tinker player. I've got hardly any Tinker games, but I do quite like playing it sometimes. I think it goes without saying that playing safe is obviously like what you want to do on Tinker, maybe unless you're doing this overwhelming Blink Shiva build where you kind of can go a bit more nuts because your hero is so really tanky. But I think laser can debate you quite a lot in fights when you've got blink, because you want to be able to blink into laser range. But by doing so, you're making your hero very vulnerable. So if I could go back and play the Tinker game that I just played again, I wouldn't really try and laser. I would only try and laser to kill. I wouldn't do it as part of the fight. Because you get yourself killed quite a lot, especially when you're against heroes like Storm that can jump. Yeah. I think when you watch really good Tinkers play, especially in like difficult Tinker games, they spam rockets on the side a lot.
Yeah.
And never show. And then when there's a hero that will die to laser, or like when the fight's won, then they'll go in for like some finishing blow damage with the laser. So that's just an interesting observation. Like, I should have just stayed safe and spammed rockets more.
Yeah, I think that's one where you can get baited into bad practice, where if you played it in, say, unranked pubs, party games, you could grow become accustomed to using laser and rockets in fights and get away with it. But I think about playing against Tinker ranked, and I can remember it, and it will be the same in your games. Players will be that much more ruthless and better, and they'll see a Tinker split second, you're caught, and so yeah, you definitely have to not show until it's absolutely safe.
Yep. Well, I love beating up on Tinkers. I had like, in this Pugner game that I played earlier today, I was like 24-1 or something. Pugner, when you have a good game, is one of the most fun heroes to play, because you just have Dagon 5 and you're just like melting heroes, and you've got Blink and Decrep and just flying around. So yeah, a lot of good fun. Marco, games, anything to report?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some decent ones. I've had a couple heart wrenches. Or one heart. Yeah, well, one heart wrencher. So I had the infamous deadweight dynamic plus Stan, 36 deaths in 50 minutes. So we talk about playing safe and not dying.
Deaths.
Yeah, what was really frustrating about this, not just the fact that there's 36 deaths on our POS 4 and 5, and that obviously is not helpful to winning a game of Dota, no matter what you think the benefit of that death was, is that the whole game, and we dragged it for 50, which is impressive, but the reason there are so many deaths is because the enemy team have got Spec, fine, and then 4 hyper mid-game heroes, mid-Pugner flying around, POS 3 Hoodwink flying around, POS 4 Weaver flying around, and a POS 5 Rubik flying around with spells. So we should, as decent players, be able to recognise they've got this gank squad of zapper killers. Like, everyone's been zapped to death. And I appreciate, as a POS 5 Jakiro, you've got little defensive mechanism. Or POS 3 Venom, pretty little defensive mechanism. Oh no, it was POS 4 Venom, that was it. So it's a tough game. But there's no excuse for 36 deaths. And we should have at least recognised we've got a Jug Sniper Void, POS 1, 2, 3, which is, yeah, granted, shocking. But get us to the end, get us to the late game, like, this lineup's going to win. 36 deaths. It just makes
the 2 POS 5s of both teams, there's 1 death in it. The 2 POS 4s, there is there's 18 deaths in it. So, yeah, Dynamic's got some questions to answer.
Yeah, Dynamic's got some questions to answer.
I was doing my job.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll go easy on Stan because he gets flamed in the next game. Okay. But yeah, for 22 deaths on a POS 4 Veno is not what you want to come back to Dota. Because that was, one of my second game back after the Ag's Lab addiction. So, pretty sad. But then I was like, okay, roll up the sleeves, mid-puck, iconic, head in the game. Stan says he did bits on a 3-3-10 brood, whatever. Gets absolutely carried along by mid-puck. Phenomenal game. We're back in the groove. So
pulling heroes for fun.
Honest, that puck game was on point. Who was the mid? Oh, they had a mid snap. It was an immortal mid snap, so it's not like it was a walkover. I actually did die at 2 minutes because of I phase shift. I swear I dodged a scatter blast, but got Gabened, and then he gets first blood. So
phase shift is so weird sometimes for spells like that. I have it against, the classic one is Lena. So Lena Dragon Slave it lingers.
Yeah.
The effect lingers. So you get Dragon Slaved, the animation's coming towards you from like the edge of the fire. You phase shift, the animation goes over you. You unphase shift, but if there's any part of the animation at any point that's still going, you'll get hit. So like even though the actual basically the hitbox is not the same as the actual fire pixels. So you need to dodge the entire duration of the spell. You can't just dodge like the edge of it, if you know what I mean.
It's like
you can't dodge Dodge the Fire. It's really weird.
Quap versus Puck 1v1 mid. It's something like, back in the day you needed 2 levels of phase shift to be able to dodge Sonic Wave because of that hitbox thing. So argument that maybe it's impossible to dodge Scatter Blast level 1 phase shift. Maybe I did it wrong. I swear I dodged it, but obviously didn't. Anyway, back foot to first blood to the enemy mid at 2 minutes is pretty detrimental as a mid laner. Obviously in my head I'm absolutely tilted. But anyway, go on to have this amazing game and carry a 29-minute win. So I'm bigging it up because I had a very bad start. It wasn't like, I'm 2-0 at 2 minutes. So that was good, pleasing. Then have a few more wins, blah, blah, blah. The only other game I'd talk about is Stan's Repentful OD, because I was anti-mage, and like Adam said with Marcy, painful to lose. Any anti-mage game is very painful to lose as well. But I also felt I was doing well. I felt proud of my anti-mage game. I thought I was doing well. We're getting kind of slapped by a TA popping off, Arc Warden popping off. They had a really good Pudge, Pos 4 popping off. But I felt like I was playing well, and all I needed was a bit of stand competency. And
yeah, you didn't get it in this game.
There's a clip.
Stan didn't have, the Brood didn't have the set yet.
No, the Brood was the Brood was alright. This is OD.
This is OD. There's a clip.
Yeah, I know.
There's a clip that I'm not yet shared, but it might come out.
Oh, really? You've got dirt on me?
Well, it's not dirt. It's more just catastrophe. They're pushing on mid with an Aegis TA. Everyone in the team's just useless and weak. We've got a mid OD that's like a Pos 4. We've got a Pos 3 Bloodseeker that's like a Pos 4. I'm just one anti-mage trying to do it. The team fight, what happens is, like, I think the TA with Aegis kind of distracts the whole team near our ramp, and I clean 3 heroes up on the back line. So I take out the Pos 5, 4, and 3, or something like this. Or like Pos 5, 4. Oh no, I jump on the Arc Warden actually, the Pos 2. So this big beefy Arc Warden, snipe him, sniper support, snipe another support, 2 of them left. But anyway, start getting nailed by TA as the fight comes back towards I am. Stan with his OD blinks towards me. I'm getting wrecked I get hit by 1000 damage, hoodwink ult, getting wrecked by the TA. I'm like, Stan, what was the Astral? Stan's like, blinks into the trees, just does like a 360 no scope, and I die. And he's like, just come in or something. And
I actually
uses it on himself. Like after
I can't click.
It was just one of these like, can't click. I could have been saved and I would have turned the fight, win the game. It was a blunder. It was a high intensity game. But then there was a second fail where he did some buyback at the end of the game. If he bought back and saved me with an Astral, all I'm asking for is an Astral save once, and I would have done enough work to carry.
It's interesting that time I actually remember, because the reason it was such a calamity from my end is, so I'm like, I'm going to Astral save you. So I blink in, I go to Astral save you, and then I think, actually, I'm not going to Astral save him right now, because I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a second and then Astral save you, because it's going to be better. They're going to be like more committed, and I just felt it was better. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to wait a second. So then I move my mouse away from your hero model, because I'm like not Astraling you anymore. Then more damage comes in and they're more committed. I'm like, okay, it's time to Astral you. So then I go to Astral you, and then my mouse is just like, not on you. So I just Astral myself.
Because to me, this is like a less than a 1 second span of time, probably. Yeah, but to me, it's like, I'm in the trees, I am on my way to death, and I see Stan blink into the trees. Fantastic news. I know he's an OD, I know he can Astral allies, fantastic news. And so for an eternity, I'm waiting for it to happen.
No, but the reason I don't do it at first is because I don't think I feel like you're about to be unstunned.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, the last thing, I don't want them to have used all their disable, and then I astral you, and you're going to be like,
wasteful.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to wait for you to say when you know, like, you are going to die now if I don't astral you. So then that's what's in my head. But
I think I was bushwhacked, and so that's why I was stunned, couldn't do anything. But in the time between you thinking about whether to do it or not, I took a 1,000 damage Hoodwink cult, which is obnoxious in itself. I did get slapped by like a meld and another TA hit. And so, yeah, very quickly go from like 70% HP to 0.
And that all comes in like at the end of the disable. So then I'm like, oh shit. And then,
this is all very short time spans.
And then you
also, my head
might as well put my head in the sand. So you just astral yourself in shame.
Yeah. I mean, my head was gone in this game from like minute. I tell you when my head was gone in this game. It's when I got my Meteor Hammer at like a reasonable time. First of all, I'm against Arc Warden, which I haven't played for ages, and I basically realised during the game how grim Arc Warden is as a hero. So like I'd sort of forgotten. So rather than having that moment of like, oh my god, I can't be bothered with this game, like when you see the pick, I have that moment like 5 minutes into the game, so it's like already draining me in game. And then also, I finally get my Meteor Hammer, and it's a fine time. I get it 6 minutes, so great. I've got Meteor Hammer. I go to kill this Arc Warden, and like I know in my head, I'm like, if this Pudge is good, he's gonna come mid when I get Meteor Hammer because it's a free hook. Is this Pudge good? I don't know. So then, and this Pudge had a really good game, and he's missing on the map, but he's been missing for ages.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what am I going to do? Just not use Meteor Hammer? Maybe that is the correct play, but like, I'm like, I kill this Arc Warden, and then lo and behold, I astral him, I start my Meteor Hammer, and he's going to die, and then I get Pudge hooked, and I'm like,
it's more classic than that though, because you did announce, Pudge is going to kill me mid.
I'm not sure if did I say that? I was thinking it, maybe.
But I really have a memory of you announcing Pudge's miss, or I best be careful, or I bet he's going to gank me. And then, like, 20 seconds later, it's like, fuck's sake, fucking Pudge killed me.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Oh, man, honestly, I was salty for that one. To put sweat into that.
Yeah,
that was
That was you versus the world. I'll give you that.
And it could have worked with just a bit of assistance. But anyway, that was character building.
Yeah,
it was good. They've been good games though. I've been enjoying the party unranked, and yeah, it's refreshing to come back to DotA.
Nice. I'm looking forward to a potential ranked run soon. I'm building this up soon because I am about to, or I will soon be enjoying a week off of work, a full 5 days off, and that is probably as good a time as any. I don't have anything particularly planned. It's a situation of I need to take some time off, sort of thing. So it might be a little ranked run, might be a little bit of gameplay flying around that week. So that's TBD. I don't know when that's going to be, but it'll be at some point in the next month.
It's going to be 9 AM on the dot. That ranked button is getting pressed. That's the day starts then.
Yeah, you've got to start you've got to start the day off as you mean to go on,
Yeah.
Just with some depression and just getting creamed 3-0 in ranked, and then getting creamed 0-3 in ranked before your day's even begun, and then you're just like just guaranteed to have a bad day. Yeah, I feel like we touched on the subjects we wanted to touch on, which sort of was OD, Tinker, maybe a little bit, but OD and maybe I'll keep quiet. Actually, we were going to talk about Lifestealer, maybe for next week.
I could try a Lifestealer, sweat out a Lifestealer.
Oh, what for next week?
Yeah. The issue with Lifestealer is that there aren't the buttons to click, so it's quite hard to solo carry sometimes.
You click to the right on somebody,
then to the left.
Slap them. Yeah, and then you slap them, and then they're rooted, basically.
I feel like
and all of a sudden you gain a lot of health, and you just keep slapping.
maybe we'll talk about this next week, but I feel like Lycee is a good hero to solo carry with. Because he has
Rage, man.
He has Rage, and then you also have Infest, and it's like, if you've got a skill advantage in the game, people not thinking about Infest and Rage is pretty good value. Yeah, we'll come back to that. And then we'll pose the question, why does Batrider have such a high win rate and pick rate in Immortal and such a low win rate and pick rate everywhere else? That's the question for the listeners. Do you want anyone's welcome to fly in on that question in Discord, and we'll discuss it next week, because this hero is the second most common mid in Immortal, which is crazy to me because I never ever see it. So there you go. I think maybe just high Immortal specifically in Dota 2 Pro Tracker realms, 7k plus. Anyway, all that and more next week. Lycee the Batrider, maybe a mention of a support, lo and behold. And
what's that?
Yeah, exactly. What is that? Kaden support.
Oh god.
So until then, have a final whistle.